Hi there. Well, it's what is it now? It's almost 1 o'clock here in the afternoon. I haven't started studying Korean yet. Other than that, I had a 15-minute conversation with Julia and I cut it short because I was busy. I got up this morning to watch the hockey game. Canada beat Sweden. Sweden didn't put up much of a fight. Rather unfortunate that one of their better players was disqualified just before game time because of some decision on some, medical component of some allergy drug that he's been taking for years. Rather bad situation. I feel sorry for the Swedes. Although I can understand that the Swedish organization wouldn't have found out just exactly what medications all of their players are taking and checked to make sure that none of these medications contain banned substances. My son Mark played international hockey for Canada, and the organization was all over them all the time about whatever medication they were taking. So there's a lot of whining in the Swedish press I've been reading online, but some responsibility surely has to be with the Swedish organization. It's a pity that we didn't see Russia and Canada in the final. That would have been a real cliffhanger. But there you go. So it's been a slow day, and I also wanted to talk a little bit about the situation in the Ukraine. So I had my 15-minute conversation with my Korean tutor. Then I had a half an hour discussion with Evgeny in St. Petersburg, and a half an hour discussion with Elena, who lives in the Ukraine near Kiev. And the most interesting to me was the discussion with Elena. And yesterday I sort of expressed some concern that I had about the influence of these right-wing and militant nationalist groups amongst the protesters, the people involved in the Maidan demonstrations in the Ukraine. The perspective from Elena was quite different. She sort of said that these Maidan-type demonstrations have been taking place all over the Ukraine. She lives in the central Ukraine. While they were sooner to start in the West and perhaps more active there, they have been somewhat everywhere. And while these organizations like the right sector are the best organized and the most militant, where she lives, it's been ordinary people. And that she is actually quite positive. She feels this is a real opportunity for the Ukraine to get a fresh start. She feels that in the past, the Orange Revolution and all these things have never basically changed the system. People change, the president changes, but basically it's been a system of a lot of presidential control, a lot of corruption, and not a very well-functioning society, and people are tired of it. The bulk of the people are tired of it. And she went into great detail about how Yanukovych controlled what people were able to say and express, and the degree of corruption that went on. And people were well aware of it, although more information is coming out now about just how much corruption there was. The mansion and magnificent grounds that Yanukovych had in Kiev, and of course the corruption of his son and all this kind of stuff. And so that she is at least, obviously concerned for the future, but feels that it's an opportunity to do something. She doesn't think that a lot of people are going to vote for Svoboda and for these right-wing groups. She's hopeful that a candidate will come forward who is considered somewhat neutral and acceptable to a majority of people. But the big thing she thinks is that the power will come back to the parliament, and that it won't be such a sort of an arbitrary system as they've been living under. So that's a little bit more encouraging than some of the impressions that I got yesterday from discovering that, the nature of some of these forces. So really it's a matter of waiting to see what happens. Obviously, she was also saying that the European Union and the US had said they were going to help in some way. I think Russia is waiting to see, since they backed Yanukovych. They're going to wait and see just what the government is there, and hopefully the government there will make an effort to mend fences with Russia. She was telling me that the leader of the right sector has been saying that the relations with Russia are extremely important, and that they want to develop those relationships too. And obviously the ideal scenario for the Ukraine is to have very sound relations with the European Union and with Russia. There's no way they can operate with an unfriendly Russia, at their back door. So that was kind of just to provide some balance from the sort of sense of concern about the influence of right-wing elements that I brought up yesterday. Some people have asked me to provide, someone asked me to provide Russian subtitles. I can't do that. Но я могу попробовать говорить немножко по-русски, хотя я уже очень долго не занимаюсь русским. Я больше всего изучаю корейский, чешский. Но мои впечатления это так, что в Украине больше всего наиважный элемент это что будут делать украинцы. Это не зависит от как Россия будет действовать или EU или США. Это проблема, который должен решить сами украинцы. А я говорил раньше с одной моей учительницей из Украины, и она рада, что Янукович уже не является президентом, что это шанс для Украины, это шанс развиваться нормальное общество, нормальный парламентский политический систем, потому что она не думает, что эти правые силы, правые элементы будут контролировать ситуацию, что люди будут голосовать на более центристый персонаж. По крайней мере, она так надеется. И я тоже надеюсь, что будет шанс для Украины. И, конечно, отношения между Украиной и Россией это очень важно для обоих. И там есть исторический, культурный и экономический повод для очень сильных отношений. И в то же время Украине должен иметь возможность развивать отношения с Европой. И voilà. Но я не буду делать субтитры, потому что у меня нет времени. Окей, спасибо. И сейчас я должен опять заниматься корейским.